Hello, YouTube land, and welcome to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo podcast, episode 38. I am your host, Dantes, and of course, joining me, after a little bit of problems with his mic, Caleones. How you doing, Caleones, in this crazy night, I guess, because your mic was giving you a lot of crap right now.
Yes, how you doing, Dantes? How you doing, everybody? And I just had to swap. I just put my headphones in with the microphone to try to use it, but it didn't work, so I had to go ahead and get the blue snowball and get it connected. So just to get it working over here. But everything is well, and we can finally get it started. And this might be possibly our shortest Get In and Get Out, depending on how it goes, because not that
slow news week. Slow news
very
week.
Slow.
But
get it started on this.
But we're still gonna have some fun. Just an update. I'm still pushing through to I Am Setsuna. It's getting into a rough patch in the game where I'm like, okay, I need to finish this game, but I'm doing stuff for the plat, so it's taking me longer. And this game, I think it's better just if you don't worry about the side content. If you beat it and that's it, it's great. But if you have to do all the other stuff, there's a little bit of a grind here and there, Caleones. So, and you know, I am not as I used to be. Grinding is not my favorite thing in RPGs anymore, so, you know, it is what it is. But still, it's a good game. Just wanted to give a progress that I'm still playing I Am Setsuna. Anyway, with that said, Caleones, let's start that rigmarole by saying, welcome everybody to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo podcast, episode 38, right here at the Force In Unison gaming channel. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment so you can make these two crazy MS happy. Also remember, if you ring my bell, if you ring my bell, ring that bell, baby, so you get notifications of all our YouTube videos. Also, hey, if you don't want to see ugly faces, right, Caleones, we got a solution for you. Go to SoundCloud and iTunes and download this podcast for free. Rate us over there so you can show us some love. Also, we have a Facebook page called @Force In Unison Gaming. And finally, and Dantes says finally, go to chiguerosnews.com and switchcore.net and give some clicks and love to my boy Caleones. With all that said, guys, on the chat, are you ready? I said, are you ready? For the no one in attendance and the 7 people watching around the world, let's get ready for Reggie's Hot Topics of the Week.
My body is ready.
My body's ready. So, Caleones, hit me, baby, one more time. What's coming up?
Well, Dantes, well, pretty much, this is what we could conjure up from all the big announcements that we had, in the past week. I know, some announcements might be bigger than others, depending what people's, preference are. But I'll start with the first one, and this is that Sega announces that Sonic Mania goes to retail with Sonic Mania Plus. So Sonic Mania Plus is going to be basically the retail release of the Sonic Mania game. I know the Sonic Mania game did have a retail release, but it was actually a digital download for the game itself. But this time it's going to have like a holographic packaging. It's going to have a 32-page art book. It's going to have additional modes like a new Encore mode, a new 4-player competition mode. It's going to have 2 new characters with Mighty and Ray, and the game is going to be a physical copy of the game, not digital. So I know that this is one of the games that we reviewed last year.
Of that, Final Fantasy 15 is an example of getting shafted, buying the game early. In other times, yeah, like getting shafted is just extra content, like the Horizon Zero Dawn extra DLC. You're really missing that part of the story, right? one of them wasn't during my business trips. That again. Flight back. But aside from that, my personal opinion is that these guys stop doing it. I like me. When I buy a game, have the full package of the game. If you're gonna bring DLC, fine. But in a way that the original game does not feel incomplete. In this case, it's probably not gonna feel incomplete. Just a couple, new characters. And that's it. But I'm optimistic. Missed a chance. Sega magic, because one of the old school Sega Genesis case packing. So it is, again, it sucks, but it is what it is. But anyway, I just chopped it. Let me know
Well, I mean, I kind of feel the same way as well, because with a vehicle, then yes, there's going to be year after year. So either you buy one or you lease it, so you can trade it in later on. But with video games, I understand that at first. I think it's one of those things where not that many people fully counted and that's why a lot of those games got the digital only treatment, or if they got the physical reviews, $10 more or something like that. So I think this kind of game. Would you have paid $29.99 to buy it?
Announced and said, well, the physical version is going to come out 2 or 3 months later. If you want to do it, you can get it now, but the physical will come later. At least, props for Nintendo, because they gave me a choice. They gave me, you're going to wait for it, or you can play it now. With Sega, that wasn't the case. The game came out. That never happened. But still, I got that choice, and I spent $10 more in new Super Luigi U instead of buying digitally, which was $10 less. So yes, I would pay for it. That's my point. It's like I don't like the game enough to pay $30 again just to have it in my collection. You see what I'm saying? So that's by surprise of how well this game sold, how well this game was a success compared to their other games. A piece of crap, I guess you call it that way. So, I guess defense, fine, but still, why now? Or, I don't know, it could have been a better solution, but they should have known that this game should have been physically from the start, because they knew that this game was going to sell, right? I truly believe that it was stupid for them to think, oh, how many old school Sega Genesis fans are out there who bought, full physical, like the new release that they're going to give to Sonic Mania? They would have bought it from the start with the Sega Genesis package and everything, right? So again, even though I defended them, I'm still, Caleones, I'm still not like, I'm still a little bit mad. I wish I would have waited. It feels like lately that I should just wait for games, give it a year, and see what happens. And I hate that, because I'm missing out. Do you think I'm going to wait for The Last of Us 2 for a year, right? You know how many spoilers are going to be out there for The Last of Us 2, right? It's the same with Star Wars when Episode 7 came out, the big death that happened in that movie. Everybody was saying it. And it was just a day after the damn movie release, right? Uncharted 4. Like, originally I was going to wait like I done with every Uncharted, Caleones. and wait until the full release, the new what they call the Game of the Year edition, right? And but no, there was comments around the web saying, "Oh, Drake is gonna die, crap," and other people, "Oh, that's lies." And then it was this back and forth that I read it a couple of times. I'm like, I'm gonna play the damn game before someone says something true about the game. I get spoiled again and miss the magic, because that's what sucks about the internet, is you get spoiled so easily. So then you're asking me now to wait for games for a year, because I have to wait for the full edition, if you call it that way. Like even Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15, I got a little bit spoiled just with a thumbnail. Like there was a critical thing, critical death in the game that I'm not gonna spoil, and some a-hole who was you know when you look at videos and then they show you like recommended, they show the thumbnail just showing that death was gonna happen, right? I'm like, really, people are not. Anyway, it just bothers me. So, but then I would have seen that no matter what when I was watching reviews for the game. And I will still get spoiled, and I'm still trying to wait for the complete edition of Final Fantasy 15, right? So it's tough, Caleones. I don't know what to do. I'm just frustrated because, again, I miss the old days where you bought the game, it was the full package.
Yeah, and I'll say, for people like us, we're constantly on the internet. We're constantly looking at like news. We have this podcast plus the Force In Unison live, where we're looking for news and topics to talk about. So if people are not careful with what they put out there, we're going to get spoiled, and that's not just us. It's going to be everybody else as well. But going back to the Sonic Mania Plus, I'm guessing this is a trend that's happening with video games. Not necessarily with this one, because this one is going from a digital release to a physical release, and it does have added bonuses and things like that. But we're seeing it with just a normal game going with the Game of the Year edition, or like collects all the DLCs and things like that. So it's happening a lot with numerous games. Doesn't matter the platform, doesn't matter the system. Even Splatoon 2 had a new release this week, or kind of like a re-release of the game, which included additional maps and things like that. And same with Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, that it had a re-release with the map included and those. So I know that companies, they're always looking for ways to to sell the game again, or maybe have people buy the same game 2 or 3 times. Of course, they're out there to make money, but in this specific case, what we're talking about is it is a digital game. We would have bought it physically from the very beginning if it was available, but it wasn't. But if they would have said it later on, like you said, with Luigi's U, then that would have been something where we would have waited and gotten the physical edition. In my case, I'm probably not going to pick it up day one, but more than likely, I'm still going to get it because I have 2 systems, and I need to have it for both of them. But yeah, Dantes, when it comes to you, you are a much bigger Sonic fan than I am, and you regard Sonic, back in the 90s, on being roughly, you can correct me if I'm wrong, like roughly at the same level as Mario during the 90s.
Never at the same level, but close. Yeah. Maybe in fame a little bit, but no, close. Gameplay-wise, sometimes I like Sonic better. But in reality, once you look back, Sonic will never compete to like perfect games like Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World. So you can see the flaws more, and you can see the flaws now more when I play Sonic Mania, which had the same flaws than the original games. You can see it was rough around the edges. I still like the game. I still consider Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles combined the best Sonic game. So again, like I showed there, I have some physical games from Sonic there, and I would have bought it. I would have bought it in the Switch version. I would have bought. Now I'm just not gonna buy it. Like I'm fine. I played the digital, and I think that's something that I have to accept. And it's the game industry that we live now. Either A, I don't connect to the internet when The Last of Us comes out, or B, I just have to bite the bullet and play it because you're gonna get spoiled. And it's it's better just to get it out of the way and do it then, and then just deal with the DLC and crap later on. But one of my best experiences was playing The Last of Us, the original one, waiting for that Game of the Year edition on the PlayStation 4, playing at 1080p 60 frames per second, getting all the DLC, and I was able to do 100% of all the trophies, even the DLC trophies, or how much I love that game. And play online, Caleones, even all the new maps and stuff like that for hours.
You're somebody that you don't like online.
I don't like online, and I did that in that game because I love that game so much, right? And it's something that I'm going to miss when I play The Last of Us 2. And I'm sorry I'm turning this into a PlayStation podcast, but I'm just saying I'm bringing an example of a game that is better, that I think it's more dear to my heart, and it's in the top 3 games of all time for me because I played the full version of the game and not play it in pieces. So I have to make a choice. I had a hard stand on the PlayStation 3. Like, I bought all the Batman games, and I love the Batman Arkham series. I played all the Batman games where I got the Game of the Year edition. And even the PS4 version, the Batman Arkham Knight, I waited until everything came out, Caleones, and then played the game. But I did buy the DLC in pieces. But still, even though a Game of the Year edition did not come out, I did buy all the DLC at the time when I bought the game. So again, I had a full experience, and it was better, the game Batman Arkham Knight, for it. So it's that struggle, and I'm gonna have to make a decision for certain games that are tougher to wait. I think for now, God of War, the new God of War, seems like it's a complete game. I haven't heard anything about DLC and stuff like that, so I buy day one. But then there's another game like Ni no Kuni. Love the original Ni no Kuni, great RPG. I platted the game. Ni no Kuni 2 already has a season pass, Caleones. So I'm like, South Park, the fractured but whole, right? I want to play that game. I played the original Stick of Truth and platted the original, waiting to play that game. But again, what I'm waiting for, Caleones, getting all the season pass done. Because again, South Park is not like, oh, there's a story revelation or something that happens in the game that you need to know and you can get spoiled. So who cares, right? But anyway, it's just tough. I just wanted to bring it up. I don't know where you guys stand. If you guys feel that shafted, but a lot of people in the chat, I know that they're younger gamers. They're used to this. Me and Caleones are old school. We've been playing games since the Atari 2600, so it's a little bit harder. I'm turning into those old farts that, you remember the old days. So anyway, it is what it is, Caleones. If you don't have anything else, let's move on to the next one before I keep getting depressed.
Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one. And the next one, I guess it's one of those things where a lot of people were, every time you see an update or you see something that's coming, you start assuming or you start contemplating what kind of things are going to be the ones that are going to be brought. So in this case, this last week we had the Nintendo Switch firmware update, and it was updated to version 5.0, 4.0. So of course, before you had the actual updates, people were talking about, how we're gonna maybe get achievements, or maybe we're gonna get cloud saving, or maybe we're gonna get this and that, and of course, like you started setting your expectations up there. But it was kind of like a minor update. It wasn't, really a major update when it comes to it. So a lot of people still disappointed in a way, but it still gave you, or for those people that haven't. Now you can have Facebook and Twitter friends. So if you have a Facebook account or Twitter, you can invite people that own a Nintendo Switch from the system itself, and you can move it over. You had an additional 24 additional icons like ARMS and Kirby, and I know that's something you're going to talk about on here. They allow you to do like digital software purchases from PC. They download faster now, or the download begins faster on the Switch when you do that. You can filter news. You can also, they did an expansion when it comes to the parental controls, and capture videos in the album will be restricted by current parental controls as well. So just nothing major aside from maybe like a Joy-Con update, even though they haven't said exactly what was the update. And for the Pro controller, now you can see when you pair, you can see what color it is. So depending on if you have the regular version, or if you have the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Pro controller version, so you can see that detail on the system. But overall, nothing major from this update. But yes, Dantes, Well, if we go back, I believe you have an unboxing of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the controller as well. But yeah, what are your thoughts about the firmware? Are you okay? Were you disappointed? So what do you think of it?
Thank you. So again, sorry for muting me myself. I don't want you guys hearing when I fart. Anyway, so the disappointed in the sense that they haven't added the features that I want. Where the hell is cloud saving? It's the only thing that I'm asking Nintendo. Put the damn cloud saving. A lot of people are saying wait until they launch their pay online service. They're probably gonna put it behind the paywall. It's fine, but at least at a minimum, this firmware update should have gave you a chance to save your saves on a SD card or a USB or whatever, Caleones. It's unfortunate, right? And this issue for me is getting to the point as the same as I felt when Sony got hacked and I stopped playing in Sony for like a full year. If my Switch breaks or something happens that I lose my saves, Caleones, you better find a new host because I'm not playing Nintendo for a while. So that's the big one. Now the other features, nice to have. I guess the only thing I know, they added some display pictures of Kirby. Where's the Xenoblade Kirby pictures? Where's the Xenoblade display pictures for the Switch? But yeah, they can add the little fat pink little bubble, but they can't add Mithra or Pyra. But it's all good. But aside from that, I think they're fine. Download faster from PC, great. I mean, again, like I said, the only thing I want Nintendo is where's the damn way to transfer your saves to a USB.
Yeah, and that's something that they can easily do. I mean, we don't really have to wait until cloud saves. For us to protect our save data, we can just connect our Switch to the computer and do it that way, or we can just move it from the internal system and do a backup copy on the SD card as well. Of course, that's not going to protect you if you lose the system, but at least if something happens with the system, you can just take the SD card out, put it on another one, and have the saves on there. But that's something that they eventually did on the 3DS. And they should do it. I mean, it's already been over a year since the system has been out, and there's no way to save that. You have, I mean, in between Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Breath of the Wild, you have over 600 hours worth of gameplay that if you lose it, there's no way that you can make it up except for having to spend 300 hours per game again. So, I mean, that's going to cause a lot of frustration. It's going to cause people to not want to have the system anymore if you were to lose something like that. So Nintendo, I know that you keep updating and you've done a great job with the system, with the games, the support, and all of this. But there's the save data. That's something that needs to be addressed. I know that people say, "Oh, just wait until the Nintendo Switch Online goes live in September. That's when they're probably going to address it." But it's been over a year, like I said, and it's still a couple of months before that time. So there needs something to be done now, or should have been done months ago for us to feel safe about taking our Switch out, taking it with us to a hotel or on a trip or something where we feel like if anything does happen, the data is still going to be safe. So yes, that's something that it shouldn't be. It should have been from there in day one, I believe.
Agreed, Caleones. Nintendo needs to learn next time if they launch a new system. You have to have some way, somewhere, to save your damn data. That came out of the box from PlayStation and Xbox. Steam has that easily. I could go to my Steam file and get a backup and protect my save files. I have an easier time protecting my save files from my Dolphin emulator, Caleones, than the Switch. And that is sad. But anyway, with that said, Caleones, hopefully they keep improving, and hopefully we'll get a better update that gets us some needed features as soon as possible. But with that said, Caleones, I think we're done with Hot Topics again, because this week is a little bit, small in the small side of the news, but it's all good.
Little dry.
Little dry, but we bring some water to get ourselves wet. Anyway, with that said, Caleones, time to move to our next segment, of course, which is Onuma's News Burst. So what is the first piece of news that we're gonna hit in this burst?
Okay, so the next one is going to be the Nintendo showcase video presentation. It's going to be the Nindies, and that's going to be this coming March 20th. They haven't really, said what games are going to be there and what's going to be announced, but I know that there's quite a few people that they want to see more from No More Heroes. So they want to see more of that, and also they want to finally get a release date for Hollow Knight as well. So that's another game that they're looking forward to. Also, and this is me personally, Battle Chasers Night War. It was finally approved by Nintendo. They submitted it, they approved it. They haven't announced a release date yet, and that was probably like a week and a half ago. So maybe they're waiting for the Indies showcase to do the official announcement on when Battle Chasers Night War is going to be out. So aside from that, still, I mean, it's I'm glad that Nintendo continues to do this. They do the spotlight for the smaller games, indies or indie type games. Aside from, I mean, some major ones like Undertale, for example, that is not going to get lost in the shuffle of the big announcements. But I'm glad that they take this time to give it the spotlights, to the indie games, which has helped Nintendo move consoles and feel like there's it's not empty in between the big releases. So, your thoughts, Dantes?
Quick thoughts, since this is news burst, but no expectations. I'm gonna watch it just to see what they announce. Maybe there's gonna be some good stuff in there that you want to buy. Again, I kept saying from day one, this is the beauty of the Switch. Indies are carrying the Switch, and at the same time, you're getting the good Nintendo AAA gaming experience, right? What the Vita did not give you guys. So I think it's great. I'm looking forward to it and see what comes out. And the only thing is, please, people, don't hype it. Just take it easy. We'll see what it comes out, but hopefully some good indies will come out in this presentation.
Okay, and going over with the next one, and this is that Sega does confirm, or they did confirm yesterday, that there's going to be a new Sonic game, is a new Sonic racing game. It is in development. They haven't really said which one it is. The only thing that they did confirm is that it's not a sequel to any other racing game that they previously released. So it's going to be the first of its kind. So it'll, I don't know, like they had like maybe like a 15-second or maybe it could have been longer, but like a 15-second presentation where they showed a glimpse of the logo and it showed like Sonic R, and it's aside from that, it what looked like a like a normal vehicle, like a sedan or something. So maybe it's going to be a racing game closer to what the Gran Turismo's or those type of games are. So, but who knows? They didn't really say as much, but at least there's a new racing games that we can look forward to. Any thoughts on this one?
Nope. Hey, new Sonic Team racing game. So hopefully it'll come out soon. It can be a competition for Mario Kart.
Okay, and moving on, and this is something that has been taking the internet by storm, or played a lot of people on Twitter and Facebook by fools, and is that the new, the Spyro the Dragon, the Treasure Trilogy is set to be announced, but there has been a lot of leaks and stuff where they've shown screenshots of the game, and that it turned out that it was somebody rendering it and not real releases from the game. So I saw like probably like even today they had Activision US, but it was actually Activision US tweeting the confirmation that Spyro was going to be releasing, and of course there's no Activision US account. That's it was made up. So a lot of people replying to it, saying how excited they were. It was announced as a PS4 exclusive, so there were others saying, "Oh, so how come it's not coming to the other?" But people, when you see those announcements online, just be on the lookout. There's a lot of people that like to troll and they like to play with you because they know what games you want to get. So just be on the lookout for those. But in this case, it is something that should come out and is rumored, but they haven't officially announced it yet.
Just patient, people. Come on, stop getting hype for this. Just wait until it gets announced, and we'll go from there. But again, this is gonna be the same. I expect that it will come to the Switch at some point.
Okay, and moving on to the next one, and this is that well, the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy eliminates all Naughty Dog references on Nintendo Switch. So yes, the game's going to be releasing on a different console, but I mean, this is something that is to be expected. Any references, any mentions of a company that belongs to your competitor is not going to be included, and this is going to be the case on Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. And this happens all the time. Like Minecraft, for example, there is the Nintendo version with Mario characters and those, and that's not part of the Microsoft or the Sony platform, and vice versa. Same thing with the Rocket League. Rocket League has vehicles specific to franchises from those companies, and they don't overlap. So it is something that people shouldn't really make a big deal out of it. But just be glad that the game is going to be coming over.
I'm gonna make a big deal about it. They should have included that because Naughty Gods were the one who made the original game. You honor the gods, okay? No, I'm joking. That's fine. It's understandable. It's all good. You can move to the next one, Caleones.
Okay, and going over to the next one, and this is that they have released a third-party Nintendo Switch dock, and there's actually with the new update that they released that the dock could be causing Switch units to be brick. So again, this is one of those things where if you buy something, just make sure that you read reviews, that you make sure that it works. Just because it's something that is cheaper doesn't necessarily make it, I mean, just as good as the other one. So I mean, that's why you pay a premium for certain
no.
things.
So the news is that ever since the firmware, the new one, has been breaking switches when you use a third-party dock. So ever since the new update from Nintendo has been causing issues on those third-party docks, which is sad because third-party docks at least give you a chance to buy something cheap if you want to have. Because honestly, Caleones, Nintendo is overpricing those docks. They should be way cheaper than what they're selling them. But so third parties were giving you another solution. It sounds like this firmware is breaking that, causing the switches to become bricks. So watch out if you're using a third-party dock. Make sure that you don't use it until you hear what's going on with that update.
And I just wanted to say, I mean, this doesn't necessarily mean that Nintendo is doing it on purpose, so certain things don't work. It's just that maybe the developer itself or Nintendo themselves weren't looking for this specifically. And this is obvious with the next story that we have on here, and this is that Nintendo says that they're aware that some users are experiencing issues in the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 since the new 1.3.0 update on there. So basically, Nintendo acknowledged that there's a problem with the game. They updated it to 1.3.0. The issues will be fixed in the upcoming update, which should be out at the end of this month. And the biggest problem has been that whenever people go on the new Game Plus, there's some common blades that have vanished from the game. So don't worry if you got those blades, you're gonna go ahead and get them back. But this tells you that whenever a new update comes out, you try to test for everything, but could be certain things that you don't want to account for. Same thing with breaking the other dock, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2's missing blades updates can cause certain things to happen.
So good thing I'm waiting until everything comes out, Caleones, to replay the game. So I'm doing good, but it's tough. That's one thing this game has struggled with is a little bit of polish, right? Even though I love the game and I keep saying it's the best Nintendo Switch game, or at least my favorite Nintendo Switch game, it's still an unpolished game, and you can see that here. But anyway, hopefully they'll fix it, and hopefully people could come back and keep getting all those new blades, Caleones.
Okay, and going over with the next one, and this is the talking about Media Create sales. It seems like it's been a while since we have talked about sales.
Slow news week, so I have to put it in there. I'm like, whatever, let's talk about this.
Yeah, I mean when the system released first, it seems like every single week we had a story about sales and stuff. But it's been a while. But I mean, basically, the Nintendo Switch this past week in Japan sold 45,000 units. And the Nintendo 3DS sold another 10,000. So basically, Monster Hunter is still up there at number 2. Hokuto got Gotoku. It's number one. Splatoon 2 still holding on strong at number three. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at number four. Breath of the Wild number five. Super Mario Odyssey number six. So Nintendo still has a pretty big blueprint when it comes to this. And their games continue to perform strong. So I'm glad to see them. And something that I want to point out, if you go all the way down to number 20, and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, it's sold 128,000 physical copies in Japan, and I believe this tells you that they're ready for Fighter Z or the Dragon Ball Fighters. So that's something that they should consider on there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, everything's back to normal. The Switch is number one. Monster Hunter still selling really well. Good week for Nintendo. I think they sold over 45K in consoles. So, hey, Nintendo is gonna destroy Japan. I'm saying that this is gonna bring the good old days when console gaming was a big hit in Japan.
And moving on to the next one, and this is that Runner 3 finally has us a release date, and it's coming on to the Nintendo Switch on May 22nd. So it's not going to be too much of a wait, just a little over 2 more months. But Runner 3, one of the biggest revelations last year, aside from announcing that they were working on the game, was that the game was going to be a Nintendo Switch exclusive. But now it does have a release date. Looking forward to it. Hopefully, it continues to do well, especially since the developers decided to keep it on the Nintendo on a Nintendo console. But this is one of those games that will be coming out to the system. We have another game announcement. This is that Monster Boy and Cursed Kingdom Nintendo Switch physical pre-orders are 10 times higher than the PlayStation 4 counterpart. If you were to tell me that the game was going to sell better on the Switch than the PS4, I would have said, okay, so yeah, that's fine. But for it to be 10-1 on this one, it's I'll say a pretty big surprise. When it comes to the game. The game itself, it does feel like a Nintendo title. It does feel like it is one of those that deserves to be played on a Nintendo Switch, and it's perfect for it. But what do you think about the 10-1 disparity when it comes to it?
Well, simple fact that there's more competition on PlayStation, Caleones. And Nintendo, like you said, this game feels like a Nintendo game, and it's being heavily promoted by the indies. Nintendo has promoted really well. So there's seems like there's more fans on the Switch. So I think it's just a simple fact that PlayStation has, again, and the reason for that, of course, the Switch is young, but it's PlayStation has way more games, more competition, and a lot of those things that in the PSN, which again, that's why I'm say this, I'm hoping Sony starts regulating their store, because a lot of crap sometimes get in there that they shouldn't be in there, and then sometimes it floods the good games that they should be promoted more. I think Nintendo has done a better job highlighting the good eShop games, and this game is, I think, one of the reasons why it's been a success on the Switch.
Okay, man. Hopefully that's going to be something that does continue. Of course, you know how I get when I hear this kind of news. But then again, I'm just happy that the systems, PlayStation players, Nintendo players, they're able to enjoy the game. But going over to the next one, and this is that Blossom Tales on the Nintendo Switch has surpassed Steam lifetime revenue by 20 times. And Blossom Tales, they released a tweet. They said the Nintendo Switch community is a blessing. Blossom Tales is now a turnaround story. Humble indie dev Castle Pixel can stay in business and continue making games. Love y'all. 3 months Switch revenues surpassed Steam lifetime revenues 20 times. So this is another one where, yes, this one I can fully understand why, because Dantes, can you tell us about how hard it is to find games on Steam?
So it's basically the same reason I just gave before. So PSN is getting flooded with crap. Not as bad as Steam.
Steam is.
But Steam is like flooded with crap, right? And good games like this just get buried, Caleones. And this game also, it's another good Nintendo game. It's more like a Zelda type of game, right? So it's understandable what is selling better on the Switch, but Steam needs to do something. If I said Sony needs to do something about it, Steam needs to do it like now. Because Steam is the best PC platform. You get great deals, but at the same time, it is flooded with crap. So, come on, Lord Gable. Do something about it.
And Dantes, that's actually going to be the last piece of news that we have for today. Like we said from the very beginning, not that many pieces of news. So we can finally move over into the next segment.
So, Caleones, since Toys R Us closed, I guess we have to go to our next favorite store. Which store is that, Caleones?
Well, that's going to be Shigeru's Supermarket.
So what is the deals or the new games for the week?
Okay, so for the new games of the week, and this is, well, I mean, people know which one was the big release for this week, but we're still going to be talking about the other games that came out as well, because we want all the games, to do as good as they can from here. But starting from the big one, this week was Kirby Star Allies. If you haven't picked up the game yet, you can go over to the eShop and download the demo, so you can try out the demo. And hey, at the same time, we got Star Kirby joining the chat and saying hi. So hey Kirby, we're just talking about you here. We also had what I told you about the Splatoon 2 Starter Edition, which is the one that comes up with additional content on here for people that want to pick it up. So that, other than that, we have last day of June, Tesla versus Lovecraft, Neo Geo Aero Fighter 3, Bingo for Nintendo Switch, Cluster Truck, Enchanting Mahjong Match, Gem Smashers, Neon Wall, Sparkle 3 Genesis, The Long Reach, World Neverland Elnia Kingdom, Coughing Dodgers, the Maka Unlimited 3, Spiral Splatter, and those are the games for this one. So, Dantes, would you say it's a pretty hard week to decide which is the game of the week, or a lot easier than last week? Because last week we had a bigger issue trying to decide which one it would be.
I think I'm gonna let you pick this one. Go ahead. I'm really this week. I'm like, well, whatever. So go ahead and pick.
Even I know that Kirby is not in the 90s with this release, but it's still a great game. It has, very fun games to play with friends, with other people, or you can play by yourself. But there's more fun by having others on this one. It has some pretty clever boss fights. Even though the game is not the longest, you can probably beat the game itself anywhere in between 5 to 7 hours. But then you can still do additional things. And of course, Nintendo did announce that it's going to receive DLC updates, throughout its lifetime, or at least in the next couple of months. They're going to have additional characters based on previous Kirby games. But hey, at least this is going to be something to look forward to. But Kirby Star Allies is the game of the week.
Well, that is it. Look at how efficient we are, Caleones. 43 minutes in, and we're done with the show again this week. It was a little bit of slow, but we were still happy to come here and entertain you a little bit, even though the news could have been a little bit boring this week. But still, we had fun, right, guys? Right in the chat, there's still people talking in the chat, having some fun. But with that said, Caleones, and since we already done with the show, let's do that. And sweet rigmarole, but of course, you know what I'm going to put next, right? Boom! There you go. Can you feel it? I want to thank everybody for watching this episode of the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast, episode 36, right here at the Force In Unison Gaming channel. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment so you can make these two crazy MFs happy. Also remember, do you ring my bell? Do you ring my bell? Ring that bell, baby, so you get all the notifications from our little YouTube channel. Also, if you don't want to see ugly faces, please remember that you can get this podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud for free. Rate us over there so you can show us some love. Also, go to the description box below so you can see the full channel schedule, baby. Remember, Mondays, Xenoblade Monday, when this Dantes person, the crazy MF of the team, goes and play a little bit of Xenoblade for your entertainment. Tuesday, we got, of course, Force In Unison Live, where me and Caleones discussed all the gaming news for all the other consoles. On Wednesdays, we got Streaming Wednesdays, where Caleones and Inkling G play a little bit of Splatoon 2 for your entertainment. Also, Fridays, Toys and More Club presents Minecraft Fridays. And of course, Saturdays, we got this sweet little show. Also, hey, go to the Facebook page. Give us a like over there. Please remember that we have a Facebook page. Also, last week, we had a lot of fun with the Splatoon 2 tournament. We will be back next week on Tuesday. So if you're in the tournament, please be there, ready to participate.
And Dantes, I'm gonna interject on that one.
Yep.
Guys, this is gonna be, I'm gonna be using the Sugar News website as well as our comments on here. So please, for everybody that participated, tomorrow I will have the list of the top 16 players that qualified for the elimination matches starting on Tuesday. So I'm gonna go ahead and post those on Chicago News, but at the same time, I'm gonna go to the comment section from the announcement video, and I'm gonna post that information on there as well. So just be on the lookout. That way you know if you made it and if you're gonna be playing on either whichever day it is. So be on the lookout for those.
We'll do this, Caleones. Also, once you got the bracket done this weekend, right? We'll post a little 5-second video showing the bracket and giving you guys a heads up, okay? Because we have to pick who's gonna play on Tuesday and who's gonna play on Wednesday, right? Because on Tuesday it's gonna be the East, and on Wednesday it's gonna be the West. So you have to do that bracket like NBA championship style or March Madness. Anyway, last part that I forgot to say, right, Caleones? Go to ChigarosNews.com and SwitchCore.net and give some clicks and love to my boy Caleones. With all that said, thank you again, guys, for joining us tonight. Long live Nintendo. Good night, everybody.